Where were you when the bomb went off?
Me and him were standing next together.
And y'all are just about a block away?
This building right here.
And you felt two distinct blasts?
Yeah.
Both
of us fell down trying to get out the building. You know, it was just that much of a shake around there.
What was the first blast? Was it bigger or smaller than the second?
It was bigger. The second one was smaller, but you could distinctly hear it.
So it popped like a firecracker?
No, it wasn't a firecracker.
A firecracker in your ear?
No.
It was a big one.
Yeah, it was big.
Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all know what a police state is, right? Yeah. It's when the police run everything and you don't have any rights. Do y'all feel that we're moving into a police state?
Yes, definitely, for sure.
And again, that's me personally, that's not an attack on the cop on the beat. I mean, thugs and criminals control our police forces now, both state and national and local. And so that's why it's so hard to get a crime punished nowadays.
Mm-hmm. True, it is.
Seems like if you steal $100, they'll put you in prison, but if you steal $1 million, they'll give you a medal.
Yeah, and a little time to the side, you'd be on the side. Yeah.
Do y'all have any other comments about what's been going on? What's the solution to the problem? Donnie?
There's a lot of answers, different solutions.
What was that you were saying?
Divide and conquer, that's what it is.
That's an old game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate y'all's time.
The facts are irrefutable. Treason is being engaged in. President Clinton bragged on Air Force One in 1996 to the press that he owed the revival of his presidency to the Oklahoma City bombing. General Parton, Ted Gunderson, Anthony Hilder, and many people with expertise in this area have documented what is happening. People like Jane Graham, who was a survivor inside the Murrah building, saw strange utility personnel placing packages against pillars in the lower areas of the building. We have photographs of the Ryder truck being loaded with fuel oil at Camp Grouper, and that is in northern Oklahoma. And you add this with the newscast before and then conflicting afterwards. You add this with Newsweek having to use a artist rendition to show you the 8-foot deep, 30-foot around crater. And then when you see the actual video evidence, it's a heap of rubble that's been blown out into the street, not in by a truck bomb. There were 2 explosions. The seismographs show that. And the only people that gained from this were those that are for federal power. That's the evidence, and it's irrefutable. And if that's not enough for you, Carol Howell, a confidential FBI informant, warned the FBI before the bombing that the Aryan Republican Army and Andre Strassmeyer were planning to bomb the building. Now see some evidence of concentration camp facilities being built in America under the guise of FEMA going back over 30 years, but it is accelerating.
Colonel North, in your work at the NSC, were you not assigned at one time to work on plans for the continuity of government in the event of a major disaster?
Mr. Chairman.
I believe that question touches upon a highly sensitive and classified area, so may I request that you not touch upon that, sir.
I was particularly concerned, Mr. Chairman, because I read in Miami papers and several others that there had been a plan developed by that same agency, a contingency plan in the event of emergency that would suspend the American Constitution. And I was deeply concerned about it and wondered if that was the area in which he had worked. I believe that it was,
May I most respectfully request that that matter not be touched upon at this stage. If we wish to get into this, I'm certain arrangements can be made for an executive session.
And tragically, the only member who got close was Jack Brooks, and he was stopped by the chairman. But the truth of the matter is that, yes, you do have those standby provisions, and the plans are there, and the statutory emergency plans are there, whereby you could, in the name of stopping terrorism, apprehend, invoke the military, and arrest Americans and hold them in detention camps.
We've been around the nation categorizing enemy activity. Now we're headed back to Austin, Texas to expose the activities there.
We're here at the Model United Nations Day, January 16th, 1998. We went in and discussed with a lot of people, a lot of issues, and saw the youth being educated, being trained in the ways of world governance and the growth of the world government control apparatus. Many of these people don't understand who controls the United Nations. And you're fixing to see that from the interviews that we conducted. And that's the scary part. There's so many good people engaged in this at the lower level. And that creates the group psychology, the peer pressure, that it is a good organization. I think we've conducted a balanced report, and the excerpts from interviews with children, teachers, and administrators, and the local United Nations recruiting organization for adults, professors, and children was here also. This is where our country is. This is where it's moving. And the scariest point of this entire discussion that we had today and this report is that we are severely lacking in teaching our youth about the Constitution of the United States and about the government of the United States. But there's plenty of money and there's plenty of help from the establishment to teach them about the United Nations. And that doesn't surprise me a bit, because we know that there is a move towards global government, abolition of private property, the destruction of national sovereignty in the name of the group collective. And what did David Rockefeller say about the public schools? What did he say about government training centers, or what he called the public schools? He called it helpless people yielding themselves to our molding hands. And these lovely, intelligent, but very young people are very easily molded by the establishment today. So let's go inside the teaching center here at the University of Texas and find out exactly what's happening to our youth of this nation.
Just your name under here, Observer.
Maybe it's just the same publisher. I read one that was called Simplify Your Life. That's what it's called.
Oh, there's a whole battery of them.
Otherwise, the pages are not supposed to let you
One of
in
the things.
Oh, good.
if you don't have. So, we have lots of things, lots of plans, and we think we have a great conference.
Who are some of the sponsors of the conference?
Well, we are the United Nations Association of Austin, and this year the League of Women Voters is co-sponsoring us.
Who is the head of the United Nations organization here in town?
Frank Cooksey, a former mayor.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a different court. But this is, actually this court, the International Court, meets in The Hague.
That's in the Netherlands, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And I see y'all are wearing little worlds there. Do y'all care about the world?
Yeah.
Y'all are good people, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do y'all think the United Nations is helping?
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's a great way to make world peace.
A great way to make world peace.
Mhm.
Because through global governance, we can knock out all the troublemakers.
Yes.
Is that what y'all been talking about?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Well, that's great. I hope y'all have an enjoyable time.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
What do you think about the United Nations?
Cool.
Yeah,
Very good. It's like an organization. I think
it's kind of fun.
It is really cool. It decides a whole lot of world issues.
Yeah, they make
World peace and stuff.
It's really exciting.
Nifty.
Well, that's great. Let's get that. Model United Nations, just one more of the many committees. Helpless young people yielding themselves to the elite's hands. I could tell them about the people that really control it, but they never understand it. It's this petty taste of power that gets them to believe that they're really doing something good when they're really working for something bad. Notice your youth are not being taught about the Constitution. They are being taught about world constitution, world proletariat, orders from headquarters.